Hey Fandom, it's me, Aaron, for a comic show. I'm going to talk about this week's books, Saturday's Halloween Comic Fest, and a little bit about North Carolina Comic Con, which I'm going to November 10th, 11th, 12th. Rob Liefeld's going to be there, the creator of Deadpool, so I'm going to hang out with him some. My man Shane Davis is going to be there. Kyle Baker's going to be there. Should be good fun. I love Durham, so if you're anywhere near North Carolina, you should come out. It'll be a good time. This week, the book that I was the most excited about is Flash, Dark Knight Metal tie-in, Bats Out of Hell Part 1. This issue was batshit crazy. It comes right out of Metal 3, where they were at the Oblivion Bar, wherever that is in some pocket dimension. Someone sacrificed themselves so the Justice League can escape, and this is what the Justice League is doing when they escape, and you see the Red Death Bat Flash craziness here. I don't see how they're gonna win. I don't see how this is gonna work. It's scary, it's scary. And it seemed to me like this is a very important part of the story. This is the Justice League taking on these evil, dark Batman. And that's what it is. And I really liked it. I thought it was great. I'm excited. These tie-ins are just perfect. This was actually better than the last one, the Gotham Resistance. I'm more excited about this one. And Batman the Merciless, it's written by Tomasi. And you see this foil cover. It was cool. This is Batman as Wonder Woman as the God of War. You remember that from the New 52 Azarello Chang Wonder Woman. And Batman puts on the helmet of Ares, the God of War, and he goes nuts. And then he gets recruited like they all have gotten recruited in these one-shots. And now we see him here in Metal. So this is, I think there's one more after this, the Devastator, which looks like Doomsday, but we'll see. That issue was great, check it out. DC House of Horror, yes, it's $10. It's thick, full of stories. It's bound, it's not stapled, and the opening story was crazy. It's Ma Kent versus a alien superpowered baby that crashes into the farm, kills Pa, and she has to fight it off. And that's Superman. Then there's a Wonder Woman story that is equally as crazy, and a Batman story, a Flash story, a Green Lantern story, and the heroes are all the antagonists in this. They're all the creepy horror movie villains. And it's written by a bunch of up-and-coming horror novelists, horror writers, with Keith Giffen plotting it. And great art, too, throughout. So, oh, and the Harley Quinn story was pretty insane. So check this out if you want horror. It's good. Yes, it's $10, but it's good. So you're not going to be disappointed if you like horror stuff and you like DC characters. There's that. Okay, moving on to the things that tie into the Button and Doomsday Clock and the whole Watchmen stuff. Lonely Place of Living. This was this is nuts. This is really nuts. Tim Drake's back. He got freed from the cell that Oz put him in, and there's a Batman that's also Tim Drake from the future. This was in the first part. This is the fourth part, and I don't know. Hopefully more comes of it. Hopefully we see Connor Kent at some point. But it's been a great little story arc. And finally, the Oz Effect Part 4 lenticular cover with the new Superboy and going back and forth between Superman as dad and Jor-El, who was Oz, as his mentor. And we'll see which side John takes. So it's been pretty trippy. I mean, I wasn't excited about Jor-El being a bad guy, but I mean, who's to say? Someone that barely escaped death and thought of Krypton as this utopian society and sees Earth and humans as dog shit. Like, these people kill each other for nothing, and this is who you want to sacrifice yourself for, son? Like, this is ridiculous. It's almost as if God said to Jesus, like, nah, come on, these people aren't worth it, screw them. Let's go do some God stuff somewhere else. So that's the story. It's kind of exciting. And then finally, Justice League of America 17. This is where the book finally pays off on its promise to tie into the Button and the Watchmen storyline stuff. Seriously, the Dr. Manhattan stuff, the Button stuff pays off in this issue. I'm not lying. So there's that. I know in the original solicitation they're saying, oh, this is going to be important. And then it's like, well, you know, it's a fun book, but where's the Rebirth stuff? And it's in here. For Marvel, we got another previews free spotlighting the Avengers No Surrender. And we got a few more lenticulars. The Jean Grey was actually really well done. I really liked how they went back and forth between the Astonishing X-Men cover and Jean Grey. And the story was good. I loved Grant Morrison's New X-Men, and this whole story takes place in Emma Frost's mind during the New X-Men run by Grant Morrison. And Jean Grey's navigating through that, and then something crazy happens. And that's not something I'm going to spoil. But I was excited for it. I liked it. I thought it was well executed. Black Panther, going back and forth between a Wolverine Hulk cover. This issue was super weird. It's entirely narrated by Claw, Black Panther's arch enemy. So the entire story is from his arch enemy's perspective. And this story arc is, it might be Claw getting the best of Black Panther. We'll see. But it was a cool change of pace, and we'll see what happens. If you're getting Black Panther, there's no reason you shouldn't get it. Yes, it's a new number, 166, but it just continues with the same writer, and it's the villain's going to have his day. We'll see. We'll see. America is out. This has a new arch enemy for her, and some weirdness. The cover's pretty cool with Spider-Man. Captain Marvel covers with the Hulk. A lot of changes going on in here with Alpha Flight and whatnot. And then finally, US Avengers goes back and forth with Fantastic Four. And this was really, really weird. It is really weird. I can't tell you what it is because that's a big spoiler on the last page, but Cannonball's somewhere in space and everything is like Archie Comics. Like everything is like Americana, literally Archie Comics. I'm talking like the letter jacket with Archie and Jughead with the crown and all that stuff. Very, very odd, but you know, it was an enjoyable read. So if that does anything for you. And then finally, the second part of the new Legacy Deadpool run, Despicable Deadpool. Deadpool kills Cable. You see him with Cable's arm. He seriously ripped Cable's arm off, cut his own arm off, and connected Cable's arm to his stump. That really happened, and he's been hired to kill Cable by Cable's evil clone Strife. And if that's not enough to get you to read it, you're not really a Deadpool fan, because that is insanity, and that's where Deadpool works best, is with insane stuff. This week, going to independent stuff, Jughead the Hunger #1. This is another one of those Archie horror books like Sabrina and Afterlife with Archie. This is Jughead as a werewolf, and Betty and the Coopers are generations-long werewolf hunters, and it reimagines all of Archie through that lens, and it's horror. There was a one-shot of this not too long ago, and this continues that story. It's a new #1. It's ongoing now, and Jughead is a werewolf. So the hunger, I mean, you get it. Like, he always was eating hamburgers. He was always hungry. So Jughead the Hunger. He's a werewolf. He's got to eat. A new saga. This is a heavy Goose issue, and I always highlight when it comes out, but I never spoil anything in it because Saga is such a great book. Check it out. And finally, Redneck, Volume 1. Deep in the Heart. This cover is different. This is our exclusive cover. We love Donny Cates here. It's us and Jesse James Comics who brokered the whole deal. He's a very charming man with a great store, a great online presence. Jesse James is he's a great guy. I love that guy. We will be selling this on our eBay. We only have a few copies. Jesse James has the rest of them, but you see our logo on here too. So we're really supportive of Donny Cates, getting behind him 100%. Can't wait for his Marvel stuff. You know, his Thanos and Doctor Strange both sound great. And then finally, Halloween Comic Fest this Saturday, the 28th, all day long, probably at every comic book store, most comic book stores. It's sponsored by Stranger Things. We'll have a few Stranger Things giveaways. Not much, they didn't give us much, but we'll have some. Maybe we'll raffle them off or whatnot. We'll be showing Stranger Things here in the Geekies. We have a big ass cardboard cutout where you can put your face through it like you're 11 and have your picture taken there. And we have a bunch of free comics. So these are 12 that I picked that I think are pretty representative. We have more than this, but we have Night of the Monsterman, Batman, that's cool, from the new Batman Rebirth story arcs. For kids, DC Superhero Girls. We have from Marvel Star Wars, Darth Maul #1, which is pretty awesome. Runaways #1 by Brian K. Vaughan, which has a new show coming out on Hulu. We have a classic Mighty Thor with Thor fighting Hela, just in time for the movie. Donny Cates again, Baby Teeth #1. We'll have that for free, so check that out. Ghostbusters. Can't have a Halloween Comic Fest without Ghostbusters. The Tick, this is the first issue of The Tick in full color for free, so come check that out if you liked his Amazon show. Grim Tales of Terror, Hellboy, great choice. As I mentioned before, Sabrina, Archie Horror, and then finally Lady Mechanica. Love the art in this, steampunk stuff. Good stuff, all free. Come check it out all day Saturday while supplies last, but it's gonna last. I got boxes full of this stuff. And we'll have shenanigans. And then we're gonna have a karaoke, cosplay karaoke that night. So it'll be fun. Thanks guys, bye-bye.